The writing appears to be on the wall, and I think even Sam Darnold is starting to see it. Of course, an article update here from David Newton, a relation to Cam Newton, on the story coming out of training camp for the Panthers Monday, August 8, 2022, as they prepare for their first preseason game this Saturday against the Washington Commanders. Thank you all for following me during this training camp, and I will continue to update you throughout the preseason, regular season. But for now, let's just take it one step at a time. So let's get into this report and let's get into my opinion on it. So open your ears and hear me out. Now, today was the first that I was hearing of this when it comes to Sam Darnold. Apparently there has been trade rumors, some things that surfaced over the weekend, apparently, and Darnold had a conversation with the general manager over it. But we have an update out of Panthers training camp, so let's read what it has to say here. It says, it's not always a good sign when the general manager talks to a player after practice, particularly amid a report that player is on the trading block. But in this case, it was good for quarterback Sam Darnold, who was told by Scott Fitterer, is that how you say the general manager's name? Fitterer, whatever. Not to worry about the social media report that surfaced over the weekend. Okay, that's why I didn't see it, because it was over the weekend and I was too busy to even pay attention. But this is interesting, not to mention all the reports and buzz I'm saying about the rookie quarterback Matt Corral, whose name has just been popping up everywhere in terms of the things that he's been able to do. You've seen videos of him running drills and throwing balls into these like little training things that they do. So this report is an interesting and very timely report, considering what even the rookie has been doing for the Panthers in training camp. Article goes on to say Coach Matt Rule took it one step further, saying he expects to have 3 QBs on his final roster, including Darnold and Baker Mayfield, engaged in a battle for the starting job. Rookie Matt Corral likely would be the third quarterback over PJ Walker, simply because Carolina invested a 3rd round pick into him. Exactly, a 3rd round pick was invested in Matt Corral, so he's not going anywhere, because that is a very high pick for a quarterback, considering you have 7 rounds of the draft. That is a very high pick, so that means it's out of Sam Darnold and PJ Walker. We'll get there a little bit later, towards the end, on what I believe will happen with that situation. Article finishing up here, not a very long article, but goes on to say, in a quote from Matt Rule, of the 32 NFL teams, 12 played 1 quarterback last year for all 17 regular season games. Rule noted. I think the average over the last 5 years is 41%. So as much as we're concerned about the starting quarterback battle, I'm looking at 2, unquote. Me personally, I don't give a you-know-what about that. I want to be part of that club where 1 quarterback is starting, and that guy is playing great and consistent football and has this team in position to make the playoffs, and also putting himself in position to earn those incentives that are in his contract. And I think we all, Baker, know who I'm talking about, so no secret there. That's what I'm concerned about. I don't want to see quarterbacks in and out of the lineup. That's not how a football team should be ran. You can switch out receivers, running backs, linebackers, DBs, and all that, but not a quarterback. Definitely not a quarterback. As for who has an edge for the starting spot, Darnold had a bad interception and Mayfield had 3 passes batted down at the line on Monday. Both were ineffective in a 2-minute drill at the end of the practice. And that is the end of the article. That may have been the case, but looking at the press conference and body language and public opinion and all those things, there's no secret that Baker is still head and shoulders above Sam Darnold when it comes to this race and just pure talent alone. And I think everyone knows it. A lot of people, I don't say a lot, but there are people who think if your 2 choices are Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, then that says a lot about the Carolina Panthers. But I just think that, we if you're basing Baker solely off last season, then you wasn't watching Baker the year before that, and you wasn't watching Baker in his rookie year. I believe that Baker Mayfield, has what it takes, and I don't recall. I have to look at 2019. I don't recall watching them that much, but I think Baker's a great quarterback. I think he's the right guy for this job. I don't think they traded him, for no reason. I think there is a reason, and I think I'm going to talk about that too. But this Saturday should not be a sympathy start for Sam Darnold in Washington, playing against former Panthers head coach Ron Rivera. I say throw Baker in there as the starter for a couple drives and let him just see how he stacks up against, to me, no doubt, a great defense, a great front seven, depending on what Washington does over there. But we know when healthy, they have the best front seven in the league, in the NFL, just like, in 2013, those years that Rivera was with the Panthers early on, we had a great front seven under him as well. So let Baker go in there and let's see what this offensive line is made of. Let's see what Christian McCaffrey's made of, and let's see how Baker throw the ball. But I know Rule isn't doing much until Patriots week, but to make this trade for Baker and leave him on the bench, even though you're not risking much in terms of what you had to give up to get him, I just think about what this will do to Sam Darnold. To be honest, he's not going to be the same guy, because you know why you traded for Baker. Hell, Darnold knows why you traded for Baker. Taking a quarterback high in the 3rd round, that says a lot as well. You know why you took that quarterback. You know why you traded for Baker. It's no secret. It's no secret as to why. But I'm 99.9% sure that after Patriots week, the decision will be announced. One of the worst kept secrets in Charlotte. And I mentioned Corral earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if he's QB2 going into the season, or Darnold does end up being traded. They gave a lot for him, and they could probably get a little some back, but if Baker carries the team to the playoffs and even further than that, it wouldn't even matter what you had to give up, all you had to give up to get Sam Darnold. It wouldn't even matter, because I don't see them leaving Darnold as a 3rd string quarterback on the roster. So if Matt Corral ends up being the guy over Sam Darnold, that means PJ Walker will get that 3rd spot, and they will somehow, some way cut bait with Sam Darnold. I just don't see them keeping him on if he doesn't end up being the backup quarterback. We'll definitely talk more on this and tomorrow, because I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube, a lot of people talking about it. I thought it was just clickbait and all that, but I've been seeing people talk about it. Is Baker the guy to dethrone Brady in the NFC South and lead the Panthers to the crown, the division crown this year? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe, and hear me out. When people see this, they're going to say, well, he really wasn't a nice guy. He may have been a tyrant. Well, that's because you never won anything. I wanted to win, but I wanted them to win and be a part of that as well. look, I'm only doing this because it is who I am. That's the way I played the game. That was my mentality. And if you don't want to play that way, then don't play that way. Break.